Tonight on Closer Look, this past Family Day, members of the homeless community in Barrie, along with many of the people who support them, found themselves mourning the sudden passing of one of their own. Rick, dubbed the Mayor by his friends. Rick was 75 years of age. BarrieToday reporter Kevin Lamb spent a fair bit of time covering Rick's story and joins us tonight from Barrie. Kevin, your coverage has led to a nomination for national coverage on the homelessness situation at the upcoming Digital Publishing Awards. We'll talk more on that in a sec, but let's start with Rick and how you got to know him. What was his story?
Well, Rick lived in a small tent in a homeless encampment. It was reinforced with tarps and pieces of wood and things at the side of a street in an out-of-the-way place near downtown Barrie. There are many people living in this particular encampment. I just happened to see him there outside one day and wanted to get a feel for what his struggle was like, which, like most people, included addiction. In his case, it was alcohol. He had been homeless in the city for many years.
So, Kevin, what drew you to Rick's story, and what do you hope readers take away from learning about his life and struggles?
I wonder what it was like trying to survive in the elements as an elderly person. I couldn't imagine it. It's hard enough for younger people. And in the end, it turned out he didn't survive, sadly enough. Some people take their comfortable lives for granted, I think, and it's not much of a fall into this same predicament for many people on the edge and one paycheck away from losing their homes and lifestyle.
Now, talking to someone like Rick, Kevin, in that setting, in that situation is never easy. How did you get him to open up and discuss so openly what he was enduring?
Well, with everyone I meet, it's a simple smile and hello and sometimes a hot coffee in the winter. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to talk or identify themselves in a story. And I get that. But Rick was open and welcoming to me. And I think being at his point in life, he didn't mind talking about it.
Kevin, Rick's sudden passing was a pivotal moment in your series. How did his death affect the direction of your tone or your reporting?
It went from a man who was strong and tough and being kind of a leader in his community due to his experience of surviving, and he was dubbed the Mayor for it, to suddenly being a victim of a sad and very preventable death, mostly alone in a sleeping bag during the night in freezing temperatures. And then finally, a celebration of life in the woods near a creek with his friends in the homeless community, with his name being written on a rock with other names who lost their lives in similar ways in the city.
Now, you've been nominated for Best News Coverage for a community publication at the upcoming 10th Annual Digital Publishing Awards for a series of articles, Kevin, that put a face on the homelessness crisis in Barrie. I know you don't do this for awards and for notoriety, but being nominated for such a prestigious award is a big deal. What does this recognition mean to you, and how do you think it reflects on the broader conversation about homelessness?
Well, it definitely means a lot, and it was a big surprise to me. What I'm most pleased with is that Rick, who is mostly unknown in the community, is now forever etched in the history of Barrie, for good or bad, as our city's stories are not always pleasant, but must be preserved, and hopefully as a lesson as to how people in need should be cared for in the future.
And there are stories that need to be told, and tell them well you do. There's reporter Kevin Lamb from BarrieToday. That's all for a Closer Look on this Friday. We'll be back Monday night at 7 with another episode. For all of us at Village Media, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend.